What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. Today we finally have it. Your Pathfinder 2nd edition preview content rolls on with multi-classing. Hype is real. Double dip Paladin for saves no longer a thing, but surely we can still abuse this for super optimized characters, right? Here's hoping. Remember, if you like what you're seeing, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and today, amidst several patrons going from the lowest tier to the highest tier overnight. Yeah, it's been a real crazy couple of days over here. This episode of your Pathfinder 2nd edition preview content was brought to you in part by our newest patron, Naoi-sen. I think I'm saying that right. Either way, my friend, thank you so much for your time and support. Now let's dive in. Okay, so in Pathfinder 1st edition, and well and truly in tabletop role-playing games of all kinds, what multi-classing means is taking a class that you did not take at first level to broaden your character. For example, say I'm playing an elf barbarian and I decide that I'd like to work on my ability to cast arcane spells. Why? I don't know, because I want to. So at, say, level 5, I take a wizard level and I have 4 barbarian levels, 1 wizard level, effectively being a level 5 character with barbarian powers and a little bit of wizard powers. This particular kind of thing is called dipping, and a lot of my builds in Pathfinder 1st edition will definitely dip or double dip, take 2 levels of a thing, to just really build very broken, optimized characters. We've seen that be brought down a notch for Pathfinder 2nd edition, with the Paladin getting Divine Grace as a reaction, not as a constant, so no longer can the high charisma character go Paladin 2 and have the best saves in the party. Oh, by the way, did you catch our Paladin stuff? It's super real, and follow this card right here to be directed to it. The combinations go on and on and on forever. In 2nd edition, it's getting, again, much like everything, a from the ground up overhaul. We're looking at multi-class archetypes. Yeah, you heard that right. Quote, multi-class archetypes are one of the more experimental parts of the Pathfinder playtest, so much so that there are only 4 of them in the book. 1 for the Cleric, 1 for the Fighter, 1 for the Rogue, and 1 for the Wizard. Just like ordinary archetypes, you must take a special dedication feat to gain access to the archetype. And you know, if you missed that blog, follow this card right up here. But you cannot be of the same class as the archetype. The first dedication we see is the Wizard dedication. Its feat level is 2. It requires an intelligence score of 16. That's pretty steep. I believe in 5e it's an intelligence of 13 to multiclass into Wizard, and you must of course be trained in Arcana. So there's a bit of a gate here, is what I'm seeing right out the gate that we have here in the discussion. It won't be just anybody who can dip a thing to do a thing, which is relevant in 1st edition terms for me, for all of my casters that would dip Sorcerer for access to Bloodline Arcanas, but then have like 7 or 8 Charisma. No longer a thing. Anywho, take this dedication, you can cast spells like a wizard, and gain a spellbook containing 4 arcane cantrips of your choice. You gain access to the Cast a Spell activity and the material casting, somatic casting, and verbal casting actions. You can prepare 2 cantrips each day from those found in your spellbook. You're trained in spell rolls and spell DCs for casting arcane spells and in attacks you make with arcane spells. Your key spellcasting ability for these spells is Intelligence. You can use wands, scrolls, and staves, but only for spells of a spell level you can cast. Arcana is a signature skill for you. Of course, you cannot select another dedication feat until you have gained 2 other feats from the Wizard archetype. So yeah, I've heard a lot of people say it. I've read it a lot on the forums as I was moving stuff around today, taking breaks from hauling desks out of a truck. But anywho, it feels a lot like variant multiclassing from Pathfinder 1st edition, which I never messed with, but that seems to be the idea here. In exchange for a feat, you get a little bit of something from the other class. Kind of in that way, we're putting together hybrid classes for the Pathfinder playtest. Yeah, sure, I can get behind that. I'm a little sad to see that we're only getting Cleric, Fighter, Rogue, and Wizard. But, I mean, it's a playtest, right? We'll get the rest soon. Patience is a virtue. Of course, making Arcana a signature skill means you can advance your proficiency in that skill to Master and Legendary. And it's a dedication feat, so that means that once you've taken it, you gain access to other Wizard archetype feats. Again, it's very mix and match. It's very do what you want to do with it. Build your own character, not just here's Wizard stuff. It's the same for everyone. Anywho, let's dig into these. Next up is basic wizard spellcasting at feat level 4. You add 2 level 1 spells to your spellbook. You gain a single level 1 spell slot that you can use to prepare a level 1 spell from your spellbook. At 6th level, add 2 level 2 spells to your spellbook and you gain a level 2 spell slot that you can use to prepare a level 2 spell from your spellbook. At 8th level, add 2 level 3 spells to your spellbook, and you gain a level 3 spell slot that you can use to prepare a level 3 spell from your spellbook. Even though you can cast spells, the spell level of your cantrips and arcane powers is half your level rounded up. So what I'm seeing here is basic wizard spellcasting is going to be really good for the character who wants something along the lines of like shield or mage armor or bull's strength or bless. Well, Bless is a cleric spell. Maybe basic cleric spellcasting works the same way. We'll have to see. It's a little less for the guy who wants to throw fireballs at the face of the bad guy, but it's still pretty relevant in a world where the Big Six has been dismantled and we're relying on our party to buff us to prevail in combat. The blog does note that there are additional feats you can take to gain spells of up to 8th level. So no 9th or 10th. For that, you have to be an actual wizard. You won't ever quite catch up. Still, not too bad. Next feat we've got today is Arcane School. Feat level 4, select 1 school of magic from those found in the wizard class. You gain the level 1 school power tied to your school and a pool of spell points equal to your intelligence modifier that you can use to cast that power. If you already have a pool of spell points, use the higher ability score to determine the pool as normal, and your spell point pool increases by 1. That's pretty good. If you're a sorcerer who's dipping wizard for the Arcane School, basic Arcana at level 4 gets you a level 1 or level 2 wizard feat of your choice. Advanced Arcana at level 6 grabs you 1 wizard feat after you've picked up basic Arcana. For the purpose of meeting prereqs, your wizard level is equal to half your level, and you can gain Advanced Arcana more than once each time you grab a new wizard feat. So that is definitely a thing. In a couple weeks, I'll be playing a half-elf ranger over at the Inn of Planar Crossroads, and in the back of my head, I'd always thought, maybe this character is actually just a fighter that has an animal companion because I want to be able to prevail with a lot of different kinds of weapons. I'm imagining like mace and shield, a lance, the primary mode of attack is horse archery. I can't multi-class ranger. That would be super cool to just, now I can hunt my target, or now I have an animal companion, haha. But if I can archetype into fighter and get the ability to be a little better with weapons that aren't my primary weapons, so much the better. The cost is pretty steep, and it's a little harder to pull off in terms of like attacks on the character than just straight multiclassing a lot of the time, especially for the character who's multiclassing like just for the sake of optimization. Got high wisdom? Dip monk. You've got a higher armor class than the guy in the plate mail. Of course, that's no longer a thing either. Don't believe me? Follow this card right up here. We'll talk about the monk. But anywho, the blog also says, quote, a cleric who multiclasses into fighter will keep all of their spellcasting abilities, but they will have to trade out some of the feats that allow them to be better at casting heal or at using domain powers in exchange for increased proficiency in weapons and armor, which is totally fine for Octarian, I think. I don't know. We'll have to see what kind of ranger stuff I get. Added hit points, and the ability to make attacks of opportunity, which are reactions now. We don't have a billion in around anymore. Rest in peace, combat patrol builds. You also could play a cleric who, in addition to all of their cleric spells, has up to 8th level druid spells and 8th level wizard spells. Though such a 3 tradition spellcaster would have few cleric feats to speak of course we don't see druid archetypes in the playtest. Again, it's cleric, it's rogue, it's fighter, it's wizard, but that is cool. That's the Mystic Theurge right up the gate right there. That's exactly what that is. That's that prestige class. You're probably going to be better at wizarding if you were primarily a wizard, but it's still there, it's still relevant, it feels easier than just running Mystic Theurge like you would in 1st edition. The blog also notes that if these work out, you can expect to see 1 for each class in the final version of the game, which is super exciting. What do you guys think? Are we playing multi-class characters in the playtest? Do you guys have your Pathfinder 2nd edition groups rolled together? Because that's next week. That's 5 days from when this video comes out. We've got our hands on Pathfinder 2nd edition, and hey, you've got till the 31st to follow this card right up here if you want to win a copy of Fantasy Grounds Ultimate Edition. 1 copy is good enough for you and all your players. Remember that patronage at any tier will grant you an extra entry in all of our giveaways. And hey, on that note, for those of us out there who might really want to play the playtest but might not have a group, since the channel's grown so much since in about a week, I'll be playing Doomsday Dawn right here on the channel. And oh, by the by, that will be on Twitch. We don't have it set up yet, but you guys can follow our Wednesday afternoon worship and 5-minute tour video. We'll have links to our Twitch in there. Friday from 7 to 10 Central. Starting on the 3rd, Doomsday Dawn is here with us. And then right after that, I'm going to Gen Con. The channel's exploding right now. So I've added a new patron tier. Our Patreon link is in the description to get you into a bi-weekly game. So if you want to play that 2nd edition, again, just follow our Patreon link. Anywho, that's all we got for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos, especially because as of right now, I'm at 1,999 subscribers, and that's annoying me. I need that last one. It's important. The next episode of your Pathfinder 2nd edition preview content drops this Tuesday.